All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Trent Mell, the CEO of First Cobalt Corp, at least for now. Trent, nice to see you. How are you?
Very well, Steve. Good to see you too.
So obviously there's a change happening with the company, as you can see by your logo there, Electra Battery Materials. So first off, congratulations on the rebranding. And it's also a sort of a bit of a shift psychologically for the company as well in moving forward. Maybe you can kind of explain this so people understand.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So yeah, the journey we set ourselves on 4.5 years ago was to try to find a secure source of cobalt for the North American EV supply chain. And so that hasn't changed, but the mandate's gotten a little bit bigger. It's still the same problem, but now it extends from cobalt to recycling solution, as well as the nickel feed. And we've seen in Finland and Korea and China that there is a real desire by the supply chain to see those three pieces come together. Because if you can bring that together, you still need to bring in some manganese, but you've got all the ingredients to then set up the precursor. That's the next step of the supply chain for battery making, and to co-locate there right next to you. And the PCAM, as we call it, it's a bit of a hole in the North American market. We've got all the announcements for battery plants, electric vehicle plants being built. The PCAM is just not there. Why? Because you need the refined material. And so as we started talking to car companies and their partners, it became evident that there was a hole to fill, and we're better positioned than anybody to do it, given the existing of the plant we already have.
Yeah. So how will this change now in moving forward? As far as you mentioned, you're in the you got the financing for building of this plant. Will you now add to it, or is there things you're going to create? How is this going to work?
Yeah, it's going to be we're going to scale up, and these plants, hydrometallurgical plants, they're cells and leach tanks, and so they are scalable. And so our phase one, as we're now calling it, is the cobalt plant, and that's still on track. End of next year, we'll be commissioning that, and we are financed. The next one that's going to come, it'll come faster than people think, is going to be the recycling. We've been doing work for over 6 months with black mass providers. So these are the people that crush the batteries and send us the material for refining. We'll have results in a matter of weeks on a scoping study. And I think we could do a demonstration plant as early as next spring, next summer. And then so within a year of starting the cobalt plant, recycling comes on. That will grow with the market, leveraging the lab and the people and the flow sheet that we have. Nickel plant's much bigger, so that's add another couple of years to get there. Likely we'll grow into that one. And then the precursor discussions, we've already started to have some early discussions, but once the nickel comes on stream, you would bring in those foreign partners, joint venture partners, to help build that out. So we're looking at a 4 or 5 year evolution to get to where we need to go.
And you mentioned that it's important because you're already in the space and you've started the projects that you already have, and you're going to get those other ones as they go. You're further ahead than a lot of other companies, because there's a lot of people talking about this and how important battery metal and all that kind of stuff. But to be where you are, does that give you that decided advantage?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on flow sheets now for 2 years, and so we've accumulated quite a bit of IP. We've got truly a great team. They've seen a lot of the relevant assets around the world. And we've got the plant that's already permitted. Permits you can never underestimate, but I sometimes talk too much about permits, not enough about people and process. So we've got all of that, and we've got a really, really supportive Ontario and Canadian government behind us. The speed with which we've been able to get things done, I think, is a testament to how serious they're taking this space.
And last question, primary market, North America. Is it North America first and then potentially elsewhere, or is it strictly North America?
Yeah, when we were looking just as a cobalt plant, it became evident we were going to be shipping to Asia, because that's where the precursor plants are. Yeah. With this shift, I think the North American focus becomes a lot more into focus, if you will. Europe is still a possibility, and it is a global market, but I would anticipate with the PCAM strategy, first couple of years might be a little bit broader in our scope, but increasingly you would expect to see us get more closely aligned with one or two of the bigger strategies here on the continent.
Well, it's a very exciting time for you, Trent. Congratulations on this, and we look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you, Steve. All the best.
All right, there's Trent Mell. He's the CEO of First Cobalt Corp and soon to be Electra Battery Materials.